Hi everybody, this is Tina from Rehatch Designs. Hope everybody's doing well today. I've got a flip through of my latest journal. This journal is something, the cover we made on my channel, and it was made with dryer sheets and snippet rolls, and this is basically what I made out of that. I just added a few things to it. I will put that video in the description box and also link it if you're interested. This is a pretty good sized journal, about 145 pages, 3 signatures, so it is going to take a little while for this flip through, so you may want to speed it up if you're not into that, or maybe it's not for you. Anyway, this journal has a kind of a soft feeling to it, but yet it has a little bit of structure. All it is the snippet rolls that were on dryer sheets, and then on the other side is cotton, so it's flexible, but yet it still has a very a structure to it, but it feels really great. It just has a nice kind of, it's not floppy, but it's it's full. This thing is really full. It's less than half this size if you take all the ephemera out, but I always stuff my journals with ephemera. I don't know, I just do. Definitely you can take them out. A lot of them is removable, so you can just take it out and have half as much. As I said, these are snippet rolls that we put together. It is 9 inches by 6 inches. The spine's approximately 2 inches. The back, here's the spine. This is where we put this, or I put this trim. That's one of them I got in my Hobby Lobby haul, I think I had recently. On the bottom, I have this trim here. Let me put it up higher so you can see it. And this is all like a little pearl trim that I just actually got in that Hobby Lobby haul too. You can still see the little pieces of the snippets hanging through there, and then I have another trim on the inside that you can see all hanging down the bottom. The only thing I really added to this after we made it is I added a little bit of this wedding trim with the pearl on the front and the back, just to jazz it up a little. And then I added this beautiful trim here that I vintaged up a little bit that I got on my Hobby Lobby haul. And that was pretty much it. Of course, the trim on the bottom, just little trims and things, I think is what I added. This is a little kind of shabby, I don't know, I call it maybe a corsage thing. And I couldn't make up my mind whether I wanted to leave that on or not. So it is removable. It's on a pin. In fact, I'll take it off so you can see. It just comes right off like that, and it's just a pin. So you can actually just decide whether you want it on there or not. And then this is how the journal looks without it. I couldn't make up my mind which way I liked it, so I just figured whoever gets this, they can decide. This is also a pin, and it comes off, of course, and it is just kind of holding these two sides together. This is just two pieces of lace together to give it some fullness, and that comes right off, so that is removable also. Again, here's that trim. You can see it, and it's just hanging over the side. What's really fun about this journal is it has all this stuff just kind of dripping all the way down, which I love. And then, of course, you have stuff on the bottom too, but mainly on the side on this one. Anyway, so that is the cover, and I am going to start flipping through here. The main two, well, actually, it's 3. The main kits I used on this were from the Journal Boat, and I mixed them all up. I don't remember which is which, so I'm not going to point them out. But if you go to the Journal Boat on Etsy, you will see these different things. As far as all the other little items I added in that are from other shops, I probably won't remember. If I do, I'll try and tell you, okay? I'll try and remember to put as many of those in the description box as I can. That way you guys can kind of see. Alright, so let's see here. The first page, let me show you this. This is the snippet that we made on my channel. I think I'll move this up a tiny bit. There we go. And I made a pocket out of that, and I believe we did that on that video. But I added this trim later because I thought it needed a little bit more of the white to break up the pink. And then I added this trim on the bottom. This is a vintage trim here. This isn't here, but I wanted something kind of hanging off the bottom. And then that was just that little snippet roll. And here we have this tag. This is a library card. This is a little envelope with a little card in it. Vintage postcard. And this lady, I put this picture in there, and she has this pretty pink dress. And I don't know, for some reason I just kind of thought that this journal looked like it belonged to her. That's kind of what I thought. Anyway, these particular digitals make reference to Victorian age in New York, and that's kind of the setting and what I kind of did this like. So it has this wedding trim here on the side on the first page, and you turn it, and then you've got this vintage trim here with this card that I put here. This is something we did on my channel with our homemade paste. I'll try and remember to put that in there too, if I can remember. If I forget, y'all let me know, because I do forget. And you know, that is vintage music paper, just my coffee dyed paper. Vintage wallpaper. I don't think you can tell, but there's like a gold in this wallpaper. I'm not sure it shows up, but on this page we have a postcard with some ephemera here. This is a vintage postcard with this beautiful lady, and then another journaling card there. Put those in. This one is my, I have just food coloring dyed paper, and then I have avocado dyed in here, so sometimes I can't tell which is which. I think this is the food coloring. It's got this pretty trim here, and then this journaling card with some vintage paper on the back. As I said, there's a lot in this journal, but a ton of writing room. So this is a very vintage ledger sheet that I have, and it has an interesting kind of a cotton texture to it. So here is another pretty page with some trim. On the other side, here's a pocket, and we have some journaling cards here with that pretty Victorian journaling card there. A doily. This pretty vintage trim here. This is a little pocket that I made with some embossing and some vintage trim here. And some journaling cards. And this is just a little linen envelope with a journaling card on the inside. Actually several. So put that in there. And I think this is the avocado dyed paper. So, and it has a little pocket on the other side with this vintage trim. And then it has this pocket with some journaling, just a paper in there. And here's just a coffee dyed paper. This is just a doily that I made into a tuck spot, and you have a bookmark kind of tucked in there, and it hangs over the side. This is some vintage Sears and Roebuck. these women in their Victorian clothes. This is the middle of the signature, and this is these are just some pretty beads that I put on. There's some pearl beads and some crystal beads, and then I don't know, I mean that's an actual natural stone, but I don't remember what it's called, but it's a pretty pink stone there. The Sears and Roebuck, some more pages. This is my take on the Artie Mays. Andrea did these freebies on her site, and this was one of the women that she gave as a freebie, and I made my little tag with that. And this has the wedding lace trim and some other trim underneath it, and then this pretty flower here with the little bling, and it fits in this little rose die cut pocket right there. My avocado dyed paper. This is some other pretty trim with that paper. There's tons and tons of lace and trim in this. Doily, this hand dyed trim here. Okay, this is our another tuck spot with a couple of journaling cards in there. So, with some pretty pink trim here. This is some vintage trim here that's got the checkers, and then here's the stripes. That page, some more pink paper. This is another journaling card I made that on vintage wallpaper, and here is the rose. It's kind of popped up. Put that on there. Here is this is an envelope. On these envelopes, I just left the back kind of blank so that a person could just write on that. I thought that was more writing space for them. And then here's some beautiful paper. And then here is a picture of Victorian era New York. So I thought that was really fun. And this is the back of wallpaper. Coffee dyed line paper. This is like 1930s, well actually it's 1920s music paper. It has a nice patina to it. On the vintage pages I put washi tape so that they are reinforced. So here is some more of the paper with this beautiful trim right here. And this is gorgeous. This is some antique trim here, both of them. Actually they're layered up. I have this one here that's kind of an antique trim, and then this. I thought those two went really well on this page for some reason. And then here are some more of the stenciling with our homemade texture paste. Excuse my voice there. This is a very vintage, if not antique paper. It has a really nice patina to it. And then here's the avocado dyed paper. Here is another one of the digital sheets. This is the part of a receipt. And this is my food coloring dyed paper, wallpaper, more of the digitals, this pretty page here. Okay, this has some lace on it, and then it has this beautiful sand Poole. This is a sand Poole print with some of our, this is the dyed music paper that we did when we made our homemade stains. I'll try and remember to put that in there too if I can remember. Anyway, and then this is this is backed onto some handmade paper that I embossed. So that goes in there. And then here we have a little pocket. A postcard, a little journaling card. This is a little card that I made with the die cut with this beautiful picture and this vintage lace and some wallpaper behind it. So all that goes in there. And then on the side there's a little side pocket, and it has this little postcard, and that sits on top of this pretty paper right here. This is vintage dictionary, avocado dyed paper. This is the middle of the middle signatures. I I think I said this, but it's 3 signatures, 185 pages. And it has this pretty doily in it. It's kind of a different shape to it. I like it because it kind of hangs off the top and the sides. Anyway, that is that. Next page, you have a pocket. Got a journaling card, another Victorian card, another envelope with a journaling card on the inside. Okay, this has another picture of New York. This is Gimbel Brothers, I believe. And then here's another very vintage, if not antique, lace on the trim on the side. And then this is another little linen envelope with a journaling card on the inside. There we go there. Alright, so I think I'll take this out now. I don't think I need it there. And let's see, here we have dictionary, some more of that pretty wedding trim there. And on this side we have a card, a journaling card that I made with vintage trims on here and vintage wallpaper, and this pretty journaling card that's been sewn. And here is another envelope. Again, I left the back blank so you could write on it. And here is another Poole Polaroid print. And that, I think that's the food coloring dyed. And here's some vintage trim here with this pretty picture of this rose. And then there is an envelope with a journaling card in there. On this side, this is a really pretty pocket. I did like a little collage in front with this vintage trim here. And you've got this little calling card, another little card, some journaling cards. Got that with some vintage paper on the back. And that's what it looks like. That's what the back of the pocket looks like. So anyway, that all goes in here. Alright, so here we go. The back of that other wallpaper. My dyed doily. The receipt. Okay, here's another, some antique paper here. And here is a journaling card. Here's another picture. Victorian New York. This is a very vintage piece of that paper. It actually, it's like a recipe book. It's really cool. But it has a lot of these blank pages, and the patina is just really fun. And then the vintage music sheet. This is some really pretty pink trim. I love that. On this page, that's some more of the wedding trim with the pearls. On this side is a pocket that I made with some handmade paper and some coffee dyed doily that's been embossed with a envelope that has a journaling card on the inside. This pretty Victorian advertisement, and another advertisement with this little collage with some lace on top, and the back of it is a guest check. And then here is another one of our homemade paste stencils on the music paper. On this side, this is the vintage ledger paper that has some trim on it. Has this pretty picture of this rose, and then another envelope with a journaling card. So lots of places to tuck things, lots of places to write. A little cluster down here, and it has these two little roses on it with some vintage pink lace. On the other side, we have this beautiful paper, and inside there is another embossed paper. This is the homemade paper with some doily and music paper on this pink cardstock, and it's sewn around with this Poole design, and you can write on the back of that. Goes right in here. And here's another envelope that I put this paper on that side and left the other side blank. And inside it is another Victorian picture with the guy on the horse and buggy. And this is the music paper, you know, that you write and compose your own music. This is just a bag that I put in there, the other half of it. And I love the way that it was stained with the coffee dye and the pink dye together. So I just left it. You could write on that. And in the inside, I don't remember. Oh, there's some journaling cards in there. So, put that in there. Wallpaper. This wallpaper is so pretty. Just really pretty. You can see the gold in there. Here is the vintage and what do you call it? Receipt. This is a cluster that I put some mother of pearl buttons on. That goes really good with this page, I think, as a little tab over here. And then let me move this down just a tiny bit. I think I'm inching up somehow. And here's some more of that old paper. Some pretty trim here. This is another pocket. You've got a calling card. Another Victorian little card here. This is an envelope. I believe this is from chapter 1. They have some really beautiful stuff too, guys, if you haven't been over there to look on their Etsy shop with this pretty card. Not sure where I got that from. And then another tag. So that is there. Avocado dyed, and there's another coffee dyed. Here's some tags. This is another one of those cutouts that I made with this Victorian lady and a little collage on the bottom, and there's wallpaper on the back with this antique trim for the top. And then I've got these little journaling cards here. This is another Poole, and here is a Victorian card there. So all of those go right here in this pretty little pocket with this trim on it. This is the middle of the signature, and in two of the signatures I have these beautiful glass beads with some crystals and some pearl beads on there. So anyway, these are on the bottom of two of the signatures. And then this is a pretty vintage lace here on avocado dyed. Here is a journaling card, and then here is an envelope that you can certainly put anything you want, and it has just some journaling paper in there to write on. So that is just for somebody to use for more writing room. Get that in there. It's a big journaling card. So, and then this page has this beautiful lace trim on it that makes a little pocket, and then it has this little booklet that I made, and here I'll just pull this off, and it has some lace on it, and it just has a bunch of little pages in it just for more writing, or you can carry it with you and jot down notes or whatever you want to do. Fits right there. And that beautiful page, that old paper, and of course all these pages too, a lot of them are light enough to write on. So this has another really pretty die cut pocket that I put this rose on with some lace behind it, and you've got a tiny little envelope here with a journaling card in it, another little journaling card, and then this tag that I made with another one of Andrea's freebies. And I put this little satin flower there with this, I guess a Swiss dot pink material and some antique material with some gauze behind it. And this antique lace on top and some trim. Put that in there. So those are fun. The other part of that receipt, wallpaper, and there's that bag. See, it's such a really cool, I don't know, I think it is, this look of the coffee dyed and the other dyed mixed together. So I just left it. Here's two more journaling cards in there. And then here is that music writing paper. This is another piece of the homemade paper that I backed with some coffee dyed doily, and then I put it in as a pocket. And then you've got this envelope, I believe, from chapter 1, vintage card, postcard, and then this card here. So put all those back in here. And then here is this beautiful, a lot of these laces, these really old laces and stuff, it's the texture of it, they're very soft. So that is made on this tuck spot here with another envelope with some more journaling paper in it. Okay, and then that paper, there's another postcard made into a pocket, and you've got this journaling card, this little one, another one, all kinds of good stuff here. Another Poole design and another journaling card. So I have no idea how these were in there. I'm just going to kind of put them in. And the back of that paper, then the vintage paper. This is a pocket here, and we've got this, I guess it's an advertisement for chocolate. And then here is another card, another journaling card, another paper. It has a, yeah, it does have a journaling card in it, another envelope, and then another pretty Victorian lady. Just goes in there. With this really pretty, this is the last lace. The way I do the lace is I have it tiered down to where the larger lace is on the bottom, so you can kind of see it kind of waterfalls down. And that, this is the largest right here, and this is vintage lace too. So all right, and then here is the last page, and this is the back. I was telling you, this is the snippet roll, the other part of that snippet roll that we made on my channel. And then of course I put this trim like I did in front, and the trim on the bottom, and then I put this little pink rose applique in the middle just to kind of decorate it a little, and that's how it looks. And you've got this vintage postcard, and then you've got this picture of this lady with this pink turban thing, and then a little pearl on top, and some vintage lace and doily. And it is backed on some homemade paper that has been embossed. Okay, so I'm going to put all that in here, and that is it, guys. So that is the journal, and I believe it's reserved. I don't know for sure yet. I'm going to put it in my Etsy shop as reserved, and if they don't purchase it within a day or two, then what I will do is I will go ahead and release it, and it will be open to whoever. I had someone ask me about that reserve thing, and what it is if I'm making something on my channel and you want to reserve it before I finish it, you can, and then I give you a day or two after the flip through to decide for sure if you want it, because you haven't really seen it. I mean, I haven't finished it. So that's what I let people do. I don't do custom orders. it just kind of stresses me out when I do. I don't know. That's just me. So, but if you know, like if something like that happens and you see me making something and you're interested, just contact me. Best on my Etsy shop. Message me, because I get so many comments on my YouTube that I don't always get to them in a timely manner, but I usually do on my Etsy. So anyway, it will say reserved in there at least for a couple days, and then if they decide not to purchase it, then it will be released. Okay. Also, I wanted to make a little announcement that somehow my Facebook got hacked. I don't think it actually got hacked. I think it was trolled. Somebody's out there pretending to be me and on Facebook, and I don't think they've done it to my Rehatched Designs Facebook that I can tell, and I don't think they've done it on YouTube. And basically what they do is they're out there using my name and, you know, the Rehatched Designs, and sending messages to people and telling them that they're me. They're not me. So if you get a weird message, you know, just contacting through my normal channels, because as far as I can tell, they haven't hacked those. They just are just out there pretending to be me. And if that does happen, you know, either ignore it, let me know, do whatever. But if it sounds kind of weird and doesn't sound like me, it's not me. So probably not me. So anyway, thanks for watching the flip through, and I hope that you got some inspiration out of it. And like I said, I will put that the snippet roll thing cover definitely in the description box. There was another one too. Oh, and the homemade paste, paste whatever. If there's something else too, please let me know, because I do forget. And like I said, this will be listed in my Etsy shop, and that is Rehatched Designs with the number 2 and U, as reserved. And if for some reason they decide they don't want it, then what I will do is I will release that, and then you are free to purchase it. All right, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys again soon.